So one thing about chicken keepers, if you're not aware of this, maybe you're a chicken keeper and you're not aware you are like this, but chicken keepers are naturally cheap, okay? maybe cheap isn't necessarily the word. Maybe we're natural cost cutters, but it's just simply the truth. All right, come on, kids. Go on out. Put this block down here. I think the thing is that as chicken keepers, we spend so much money, just random stuff, from any supplements we might use to equipment when they're babies, to getting started. And then the feed is constant, and you're like, you stinking little monsters, I gotta feed you again. You feel like you're always spending another $20 on something. Now as you get kind of accustomed to it, maybe you're not so much, and maybe it's just food cost mostly, but the run breaks, this happens, or they got to do this, I get more pine shavings. It's always something, so you wind up looking for ways to cut cost. Because these beautiful eggs are delicious, and they're nice to have, and it's great to get eggs every day, but they're not free. Eggs are not free. And that's one of the things, I mean, we raise chickens, and you raise them mostly to get eggs, right? Beautiful eggs. I mean, who doesn't enjoy getting these eggs? Look at that. A good brown, a good green, a light blue. They've done a nice job, you know? And it's a lot of fun. And it also runs into money. And because people are looking to cut costs, all of a sudden, we also find this thing that people are doing, rationing their feed. And that is really kind of what I get into is, so people look to cut costs on their feed, and they want to say, well, chickens can overeat. They're going to eat too much, and then they'll cause themselves digestive issues, or they're going to get too fatty inside, and they're going to die, or they can't lay eggs then. And the truth is, they're going to eat as much as they want and then stop. We get our chickens out on grass. We try to every day. If it's raining, obviously you can't, but like, we get them out on grass so they can eat good grass, forage, get out, run, have some space, have some time, and it's just they're healthier for it, and they're better off for it. And is that really cutting cost on our feed? It's probably not an amount of food that's making a difference in how much they eat, but that's one way we can cut costs on feed. But let's talk about this rationing feed idea. They're not going to overeat, okay? We've had chickens for 10 years now, almost a couple months shy of 10 years, okay? And we've had a free choice feeder in there the entire time. There's never been a time where they've ate that thing dry in one day. It just doesn't do that. Some people are going to tell you they need a quarter pound of food per day per chicken. Okay, I think that's too low. I would tell you, if you're looking to give them a measured amount, it's at least a third of a pound. And I say that because different chickens are different sizes, they have different habits, and there's going to be a little bit of waste. All right, so if you're looking to measure your food out, plan for all those things. We have small chickens, we have larger chickens. Okay, we probably have Alice, this Barnvelder. She probably weighs 11 pounds. Okay, she's a large hen. Okay, and Bella, one of our black copper Moran back here, you see her walking this way towards us. She's a large black copper Moran. She's larger than average, and so she probably eats more than average. Right? That's the natural way to go about it. So you can't say this is what they need every day, and it's just not fair. It's not a fair assumption. What you can do though is measure out. If you want to do a measured amount, you can measure out a third of a pound per day, per chicken on a day, or maybe even a half a pound per chicken on a day, and see how much they eat. There's going to be some waste. We want to avoid waste, right? We do everything we can to avoid waste, but the fact is, they're going to waste some food. You can see right here, there's food scraps from where they've scraped food out in the evenings. That's just what they do. They're going to wind up scraping some food out. Now they come back and they'll eat it later, like the next day, and they're out here in the yard, and they'll come back and eat on this some. But a chicken's natural motion when they're eating, this aggressive peck essentially towards this food makes food fly. Okay, some are worse than others. As much as we love this New Hampshire Red Antilles and this insanely sweet Welsh Summer named Gracie, they are two of the worst feed wasters we have, along with Tootie, because they're very aggressive when attacking the food. It happens. It's going to be that way. Okay, so we do some things to try to limit, you know, how much they're going to waste, how much they have to waste. Like, I will only put one scoop of feed out here at a time. Put one out here tonight, and I'll put one out here tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work. they've always got food in there. They've always got food to eat in their feeder, okay? Maybe not 15 pounds of food or 30 pounds of food, right? But they've always got food in there, free choice to eat on. And you know what? They've never ate it all. Never, not once. They never ate everything that's in there. So they're not going to overeat. They're going to eat what they want, and they're going to stop. But to ration their feed is to also limit how much, you know, their egg production, their health, how healthy they can be, and how rich your eggs are going to be. When we raise chickens to get good, rich, healthy eggs, best tasting eggs ever, and this is one of them, right? And they need the food that they need. You know, whatever they eat, they need it. Plain and simple. We talked recently about the food that we do use, and we use New Country Organics. We just switched to their Power Pellet formula. And our feed dealer, he sent his contact with New Country the video, talked to us, we talked to them, and they sent us a couple of free bags of feed. So we're so appreciative. Thank you, New Country Organics, for their support. They awesome, wonderful feed, best food on the market without a doubt. But again, thank you guys so much for a couple of free bags of feed with our last order. So instead of picking up 4 or 5 bags, I picked up 6 bags. Sweet, right? It's awesome. And again, go check them out. They're so good. North American, organic North American grains. Wonderful food. But you need to find yourself a dealer somewhere that gets it, you know, for sure. But it's well worth the price of the feed to get your healthiest chickens possible. I mean, there's ways to cut the cost on your food. I talked about that recently with, you know, planting some vegetables that you can grow to help, you know, feed your chickens. So there's things that you can plant and grow food for your chickens, which is healthy and helpful, right? But they're always going to need the protein. They're always going to need something, okay? And you can let them out on the grass, and they can come out here and forage, and they can find bugs, and they can find worms, especially after it rains. You get a chicken out here after it rains, it's pandemonium looking for some worms. So that's good protein for them. And you can also give them scraps. You know, give them your food waste, right? There's plenty of ways to do that. Now, if you give them scraps, I want you, please. I mean, I understand that different people have different ideas, but I'm going to tell you something, just the truth. Do not give them citrus of any kind, please. They don't need it. Way too much acid. It's not good on their bodies. And so don't give them the fruit. Don't give them the flesh or especially the pills. Okay, orange pills and stuff. Please don't. It's not good for them. And this is a little controversial these days. People do this all the time. Don't give them your coffee grounds. Your used coffee grounds, please. They don't need the caffeine. If it's decaf, okay, or whatever, I guess. But I mean, even beyond that, coffee grounds are so fine, and they're like they can compact in their crop, and it's just harder for them to break down. There's more acid in there again. Their bodies are already acidic, more so than ours. They don't need more acid. Okay, so while there's things you can give them that are acidic, whether it be fruits and things like that, there's also things that's just too much acid. Okay, so please, you know, just use a little restraint and don't give them like your citrus and your coffee grounds, and just be smart about what you are giving them inside their scraps. They will eat plenty of scraps and a lot of different things, but just be very cautious about what you're doing, what you're giving them inside of that. Okay, and one thing is, if you're having issues with your feed, it's not that you're overfeeding, okay? Just being real. It's not that you're overfeeding. You may have an unbalanced feed, maybe feeding too much protein. That can cause problems. Too much protein can cause problems. Like our feed from New Country is 17%. I personally would never want to go above 18%. Okay, you can find a 20% layer feed out there. I would say that's just for high performance, like hybrid hens who are gonna lay a ton really fast and be done after a year or so. Okay, that's my belief on that. It's not good for a hen that you're trying to get to lay for years and years and years. Too much protein slows down their laying, actually, and causes them to lay less over the length of their life. So that's it. Don't ration their feed. They're not going to overeat. I understand that the cost cutter inside of you wants to limit the waste and not overfeed and make sure you're being as efficient as possible. Trust me, we're all that way. We all want to be efficient with it, and that's totally understandable and totally okay. But they need their food. You know, the better food they have, the more food they have, the healthy they are, the happier they are, and the better eggs you're going to get. That's just the fact, and we all love those amazing eggs. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.